The end depends upon the beginning. It's a poor libation to Hestia. A child of the immortals offers fire to the immortals. O blessed Hestia, mistress of fire and light, flesh of my soul, bring into my home your divine fire. Let my house partake of your wisdom, love, and power. Blessed Hestia, be welcome in my home. All right, before we get into today's interview, I want to let everyone know that the Discord server has been revamped with a lot of changes. So come check it out. And if you're interested in participating in a book club where we'll read books each month and meet periodically virtually to discuss those books. If you'd be interested in this, come join the Discord server and come check it out. Welcome everybody back to Echoes from the Temple with another episode of discussion with a Neophyte. Today I'm going to be joined by Jared. Jared is a Neophyte in the Church of Thessaly, and he is nearing the end of his Neophyte phase. And I'm expecting some good conversation to come from this one, so let's go ahead and get into this. Let me get him in. All right, welcome, Jared.
Hello.
How's your day been?
Oh, excellent. Just got off of work and ready to, come chill at home and continue some studying.
Now just came back from vacation, right?
Yes, yes. That was a fun time we had. We brought our daughter to SeaWorld and my wife and I just we had a concert we went to as well. So it was kind of an eventful weekend. It was nice. Nice getaway.
Much needed, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes we need to take them breaks.
No, I understand that. So, getting right into the questions, can you explain a little about your background, such as the religion in which you were raised, any experience within magic that you may have had, and have you always had an interest within the occult?
Um, well, I
Oh,
uh, all right. Well, we my family and I we had an interesting bring up because we of course all raised Catholic, and I was born in a Catholic background, Catholic household. With we were living with my grandparents for a good bit from my younger years, and we would go to church almost every Sunday. And up until I was about 5 years old, 5 or 6, my grandma would have me kneel down at the bedside every night to pray. And it wasn't really until after my brother was born, it started slowing down a bit. Um, and we wasn't really being forced as much to go to church after a while, but I was kind of forced to stay in uh, Catholic religion up until the 11th grade, the until graduation, basically to be confirmed as a Bible abiding Catholic. But I wasn't really ever all that into Catholicism um growing up. It was just kind of forced on me, and it just never really was an interest for me. And as for the magic, the occult and all of that, I never heard of it until I met my wife. Um and I was probably in middle school, which was around my sixth, seventh, eighth grade years, I started losing faith in Catholicism, and I became an atheist, like a really hardcore atheist. Everything that was religion that was brought up, I would find a way to debunk it, and I would never let anyone that brought up religion even win in an argument. Like it would just debunk, debunk, debunk. I would never. I had no time for that, and I was like, keep your fairy tales to yourself. I don't even want to hear it. It was that bad. Um, but then after a while, I got into high school and I started venturing off, and I was hearing people like more Christians coming up and talking about Satanism and all of that kind of stuff. So I was becoming curious. I went look into Satanism and wanted to see what was the whole bad rap about it. And it after a while looking into it, it wasn't my thing, and I just kind of stayed as an atheist for a pretty long time. Um, up until I actually graduated high school. That was really all there was to that. There's nothing really too flashy about that. Just regular old someone coming out of Christianity and hating Christianity because I guess that was just the trend that happens every time somebody becomes an atheist or something. There's just the thing to hate on Christianity for some reason. But I just, at this point in time, I just have no time for it. It's just you believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe.
Yeah, I think Christianity tends to push more people towards atheism than
Yeah,
than any other religion that I'm aware of.
there's a quote that I've heard or read a bunch of times. It was if you don't read the Bible, you'll become a Christian. If you pick and choose the articles you read out of the Bible, you uh, um become something else. And then there was if you read the Bible fully, you become an atheist, which that kind of stuck with me a little bit. And I was like, you know what? They kind of have a point.
Yeah, I've met several people that, you know, just about every atheist I've ever met has been really just against Christianity, not really anything else. So,
Yes.
so how did you find the Church of Thessaly?
So, um, my lovely wife, um, met her in high school, and we've been together ever since. And well, I moved in with her after high school and met her mom first. She practiced she still practices Wicca, and that was the first taste of paganism that I've ever gotten. Um it was interesting, a lot different. I was still an atheist at the time, and then I've met some other people, some family friends who's practiced voodoo, and I started looking into that a little bit, and I was like, no, that's not for me. But some of the things that they were showing me and doing, and there was the things that you would try to question, but you just couldn't. There was no scientific like explanation for what was happening, and ever since then it was just
So your rational mind couldn't grasp it.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Some of the, like things like magical things I've seen, and ever since then it was just like, wow, there's a whole new side of life that I've never seen before. And after a while, some time went by, and then I met um Monty later on. Um, so we started going visit him some more and seeing what seeing what kind of religion he and I figured it was to be the same thing, but I learned that it was a bit different. And when I started witnessing the things that he was doing, on the other hand, is when I set in mind that I wasn't turning back to anything else. And I've witnessed a lot more magical. Uh, I, I seen the man like start a fire without even touching it. He would what they call it he vaulted that's for our festival Promethea. That was the absolute first time I was just in awe. I He just meditated and casted a fire into thin air from you just using like his hands. It was absolutely amazing. And that was when right there it was just okay, yep, I'm in this church now. That's it. that's,
You were
that's
sold.
it. I was sold, absolutely.
So I know you said you were an atheist, but did you ever have an interest in Greek mythology when you were younger?
Absolutely not. It was we touched on it in middle school. It was around 6th grade when we started learning about world geography or world history, or something of that nature. And you touch on each one of those subjects for about a month and learn about it. Maybe read a book, watch a movie. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I've ever seen the Odyssey, was whenever we learned about the Greek mythology in history class, but it was taught by a Christian. So I didn't learn anything of value during that subject at all. So of course they made it sound un unfun, wasn't anything
They make it sound like it's just fairy tales.
right, absolutely. Yes. That's
You want to
a
see them
perfect
react?
explanation.
You want to see them react really crazy? Tell them their Bible's a myth.
I already call it their European mythology. I mean, if ours is called Greek mythology, let theirs be called European mythology. It's only fair.
So what were your first thoughts when you initially started in the Church of Thessaly?
Hmm. Um, that's an interesting one. After the first time I've met Monty. I then learned whenever he was practicing Thessalian witchcraft. Um, I was in the middle of a ritual they were performing in their backyard. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit different, more uniform, more, held together from what I was used to. Because, like I had said, mentioned before, we had practiced a little bit with Jasmine's mom. But we did like our little rituals for holidays and sorts like that. But this one was more like doing it for something different. And when I heard everyone chanting and putting in their own energy to increase that ritual we were having, it was just like I felt it. I felt the energy change, and I was like, all right, this is the real deal right here. This is where we're going. Oh, okay. I need to learn a little bit more about this. This is interesting. I Then we had a discussion, and of course Hermes, who likes to play tricks, and came to Monty and was like, you ain't out of retirement yet, buddy. You starting this church back up, and you starting to teach people. Your daughter's back. So, and it just took off from there. It's been about 4, 5 years. I think maybe 5 going on 6 years we've been involved um in the church now.
Yeah. For the record, for anyone listening, Monty went into retirement and disbanded the church uh, maybe about 10 years ago, but maybe somewhere around 10 years ago, it completely shut the church down due to infighting and a bunch of drama that just never seemed to go away. Uh, and tried to leave it all behind, but that didn't work out.
Thanks, Hermes.
So, Jared, would you say that on a subconscious level, you've always searched for spirituality?
um Honestly, I think I have. Like it was just like a hidden calling to me almost. Like it was the gods were gonna like make me find my way here no matter what path I took. Like it was just because after a while I kept saying to myself, it's like, look, I don't want to be an atheist. Like there's something else out there that I just, can't explain. Like there's more to this life than what the world is letting on. And I need to search for it, and I need to discover this. And ever since, like it was just like, bam, here you are. This is your path that you need to take, and we can only bring you so far. You just need to meet us halfway. We will get you the information that you need to succeed.
Yeah, I personally believe everyone, whether they want to believe it or not, they desire that spirituality, some form of it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So, how would you say that your life has changed since you've become a member of the Church of Thessaly?
Ooh. Um, it was honestly it was honestly a wake up call for me. It was because even after high school, I was just like I still had that childish mindset. Like all I wanted to do was come home, play my video games, watch TV, or even just get on YouTube and just not like it was just nothing productive. And ever since we started having festivals is when I, slowed down on playing video games and stuff like that. It was just I was more encouraged and inclined to go help set up for these festivals and get more active within the church. And that right there brought up my maturity level by much further than where I started. It was like our first, I want to say it was our first real Dionysia, like right then and there. We were getting a bunch of new students, and I was like, well, now I want to make this church seem as good as it actually is. Like it was these new people, they didn't know what they were coming into. So I wanted to set a good example. And like this is what our church is about. You just be prepared. You're going to do a lot of learning and you're going to be taking in a lot of energy. And since I started doing these rituals more and more, because we do them every other Saturday, like twice a month. Um and we keep up with doing a ritual for each deity for every month. And we've had just have been receiving these deities' energies and it's basically just, I don't want to say overwhelming, but it makes you feel different, a certain kind of way. Like you're getting more in tuned and more in balance with nature, really. So it's just like you're just getting more like more aligned, and it feels amazing, honestly.
Connecting with the divine cosmos.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
So we know that making changes to one's lifestyle can bring about difficulties that one has to overcome when they do. But what challenges have come up in your life when you've made these changes to live a more spiritually aligned life?
Uh, it was not not too difficult. Um, Considering like I've been, in school in my all my younger life. So it was kind of like a little bit like being in school again. Um, there are technically our whole first year for during Neophyte training is doing book work, doing like schoolwork. You're reading you're reading a textbook, you answering questions, and occasionally writing an essay, and going to class going to class twice a month. So it really wasn't too difficult to make these changes because I already wasn't doing anything before besides playing video games on my weekends anyway. So just adding something a little different to my schedule didn't really make much of a fuss, if that make any sense.
Okay. You got lucky so far then.
Yeah. That's before Zelator. That's before my Zelator training. I heard stories.
No, the changes are coming. The
Uh,
trials ahead are there. So at this point, if you could go back and change anything, what would it be?
um Honestly, with the way this practice changed my way of thinking, I honestly would not go back to change a single thing. I lived through those experiences to get where I am today. It was not a mistake. It was a path spiritually aligned for me to be where I am right now.
I like that answer. So would you recommend a spiritually aligned life to others?
Absolutely would not stress it any other kind of way. It is a very emotional and good changing experience that I think everyone should follow. Now, this course is for not for everyone. But to be in some kind of spiritual living some kind of spiritual life is worth having, especially getting just getting aligned. Just your soul, your spirit, like you just getting that aligned with the cosmos is life changing. It's absolutely a wonderful experience.
So, since you would, do you have anything that you would tell people to prepare for?
Lots and lots of reading of like if you don't like books, then there's a not much different I could tell you because there's a lots of writing, lots of reading, lots of research, and definitely lots of tricks from the gods that they will send your way. There's a lot of curveballs that, but when you get those aha moments, and even Monty can't stress this enough, those aha moments are what you need to live for. Because once you start putting things together of when the gods throw things at you, and it's like, well, where did this come from? And then later on down the road, some a little bit more information comes in, and then the first thing that they sent you makes sense, and it's like, well, holy crap, that's now it makes perfect sense of why this happened and why was something in my life was happening like it was crap, but that happened for a reason. And once later down the road, once you get that answer, then the first thing's gonna make sense. It's just unexplainable by science. That's all spirituality. That's it.
About synchronicity, man.
Yes.
So, I know that you're planning on progressing into the Zelator grade. So, do you have any concerns about this?
Um, Monty, his old way of teaching. That's that's that right there should say all. His old method of teaching is about to come out whether we like it or not, and it's a lot more strict because from what I hear, this is where your training actually begins. The Neophyte, that's just your beginning course to learning what the religion is about. But when your real magical training begins, that's when you get your full dose of Monty. I'm not ready for that particularly.
I had to keep my mic muted on that and I started laughing. Um, so overall, how has this journey been for you so far?
It's been interesting. I when I first started, I received my Theoi, Poseidon and Hestia, and ever since I've been doing my daily devotionals to them and being getting more connected with them spiritually. It's I've been getting curveballs from them, and I would hear voices sometimes, like I can hear Hestia telling me things, Poseidon violently giving me dreams because he wants something, and it's been definitely interesting and fun experience actually. It's because those are the new things that I kind of started living with now, and it's I wouldn't change it in at all. It's something definitely worth living through.
Right. So what is the ultimate goal for you personally at this point, and has it changed since you first began?
Um, my personal goal was at the beginning, it was just to let's see how far I could get. And now I see why so many people have dropped out. But now it is to die and be remembered. That is one of two of my goals. That's my longevity goal. But my, before death goal is I want to be an adept. I want to get to that point and work up to the Manetho work. That's that right there, from what I heard, the Manetho work is you have to live life like technology does not exist. And right there is a very difficult task for any modern day person to live through, especially privileged privileged people. Because there is still
I'm gonna say if you live in the US, you probably would have a difficult time doing it.
absolutely yes. Because I was about to say because there is still like native tribes out there that can that does still practice that till to this day. But yes, any modern family that lives in the US for sure, where technology is just everywhere. That right there, like the difficulties without being next to a cell phone is nearly impossible. Everyone communicates on cell phones. Like I just want to be one of those few people to say that I did it. For what? My own benefit. That's that right there is a good goal to work for.
To be remembered, though, I like that.
Absolutely.
So your day is Poseidon and Hestia, correct?
Correct.
Were you shocked?
Yes, actually. Absolutely. It was it was a little surprise to me because especially for Poseidon. Hestia, not so much, just a little bit, but I can see why Hestia did choose me. It she's the household and hearth. Myself, I'm very family oriented. I'd be the one to take care of the family and provide for them. And I can see how Hestia could correlate with that my lifestyle. And I can see why she would be my matron. Now, Poseidon, on the other hand, as I started to learn a little bit more about him, I absolutely see why he chose me. Not fully yet, but some of the attributes. uh I am the type of person where it takes a very long time to anger me. Like it takes a lot of pushing. But when I get to that boiling point and it comes out, it comes out in a very harsh fit of rage. It takes a while for me to get there, but just like Poseidon in the ocean, it's like calm, but then that one earthquake happens and I could destroy a city. But it's to get to that point.
Figuratively speaking.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, figuratively. But it's just that fit of rage. And it only happens for like 10 seconds. And then after that, I'm done. I'm just done. It's over. My rage is over. I threw my fit and I'm good.
So, I mean, that's the questions that I've been asking everybody, minus a couple, because you kind of ran through them, some of the questions in the beginning without being asked. But you have any
Oh,
final thoughts?
um, well, no, I mean, if I would bring up again if anyone that out there that listens to this, I would fully recommend researching uh Thessalian witchcraft. Absolutely. I definitely would it definitely is a life changer and for the absolute better. It brings out the best in you. Like it's you forget who you are today and you try to be the better person tomorrow. That's what the whole thing is. You be better tomorrow than you are today. And that's all you want to push for after.
With the Church of Thessaly aside, would you recommend someone getting into some form of spirituality, regardless of what it is?
Oh, absolutely. Even if it's Egyptian or any I would recommend any kind of polytheistic uh belief because the monotheistic ones is just they don't they don't make sense to me. But like when like almost any kind of polytheistic one is they're all kind of forms of like each other, but just different names. Like they all have their own gods they worship, but they all kind of roundabout do the same thing. And I like that. That's I mean, but they all like did it according to their own culture, and they have their own path of enlightenment, you could say. But yes, absolutely. Like regardless of what religion it is and what kind of person you are, I would definitely recommend looking into some kind of spiritualism.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time out today to join me, Jared.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Mhm.